Hey everyone, today we're going to address the rust that happened to the Trans Am while I was moving to Florida and start step one of the paint process and put the car on epoxy primer. So I'm not ready to do the body work on the quarters yet, but I do want to treat the rust and I want to get it in to our black epoxy primer, and then I can do body work from there. Two ways. Yeah, you can mechanically take a DA to it and you can get most of it off. You're still going to have the corrosion in the pits. That's what I want to treat right now. I want to make sure that that's treated down at that sub level. We got Fast Etch, After Weld. Both of these are water-based phosphoric acid rust removers. The After Weld, we have some surfactants and actually some cleaning solvents in this. So we'll remove any light oils and staining as it's removing the rust. Go ahead, I'll show you real quick how to put this on. Treat it with pre-painting prep. And then we now have our black OptiFlow Epoxy in the quartz. Gonna quick roll that on. Start by putting plastic down on your floor if you care about it. I also got some cardboard there to catch any dripping. Got our After Weld clean rag. Don't use any microfiber rags that are colored. The acid in here will react with the dye and stain the panel. Scotch-Brite pad, what you can do if you have a little bit heavier, you can use this to start abrading the surface, or if you have a limited attention span, that'll speed everything up. Just gonna lightly spray the panel. I'm just going to come by with the with this stuff, rubber gloves. You don't want to use disposable nitrile with any acids. You don't need a lot, you just want to pull off that residual. Now hit the quarter panel with 80 grit on a DA. Then I mix up some of our new black epoxy OptiFlow. Prime the quarter panel. With that addressed, I move over to the Firewall. I'm also going to get this in epoxy, but first I need to remove some old seam seal that's on here. I use a combination of scrapers, wire wheel, and a 2-inch grinder to get the job done. I want to get rid of all the old stuff to make a clean slate for new upgrades. Now I can essentially repeat the steps I did on the quarter panel. I also wanted to show that you can brush the After Weld on if that works better for your needs. When working with phosphoric acid, you don't want it to dry on the panel. That's why we say to spray with pre-painting prep and wipe it off. But if that does happen, right here you can see, this is what happens when you let it dry. You get this white residue or staining. And now, two ways to go. You can try and go at it mechanically, get some Scotch-Brite in there, wire brush or something like that. Easiest way, re-wet it, and it dissolves itself. Give that a minute to work, you'll see some small bubbles. Go ahead, take your solvent. Give that a couple cleaning wipes. Now you're back to where you need to be, ready for primer. So now we roll the car over to the paint booth side here. We're gonna go ahead and put 2 coats of our 2K epoxy on this Firewall. So just using pre here, just to do a final clean. I know I've been using it all along after the phosphoric acid step, but just one final. We now have the whole body in epoxy primer, and we can start the body work, remounting the subframe, and we've also just learned that we'll be adding vintage air kit to this Trans Am project as well. So stay tuned for more upgrades, and for any tools or supply you've seen here, head over to Eastwood.com.